Canvas trampoline in 3, 2, 1.
Oh my gosh. This is a car, and this is a trampoline I designed specifically to be strong enough to try and bounce a car, or I guess technically even a boat. Today we'll be conducting some experiments to see what happens when you drop all sorts of stuff on a steel trampoline weighing 2 tons with a mat made out of Kevlar being held by 144 garage door springs. But to understand how we even got to this point, we need to go back 6 months ago when the guys from the How Ridiculous YouTube channel issued a challenge.
We need to get someone to help us engineer just an epic trampoline that can bounce like almost anything big. And I've got Marky Rober on mine.
And what you need to know about them is that besides having funny accents, they do all sorts of crazy things, usually having to do with gravity in some form or another. Their content is always mind-blowing, so you should subscribe to their channel if you somehow haven't already. At any rate, a lot of people seem to think this was a worthy challenge, including myself. And so I got together with my buddy Josh and first brainstormed ideas, then we did some math, then we designed it in CAD and ran it through a dynamic analysis and eventually settled on a design and sent the build plans to one of their buddies who lives near the tower. And so a few months later, all that was left to do was walk to Australia to meet the guys and check in on the build.
Wow!
The mat is made from Kevlar, which is the same stuff bulletproof vests are made of. It's so tough, the only thing that could cut it to the right shape was an angle grinder. The garage door springs can support about 450 pounds apiece, and we have 144 of them.
It's like a thigh master.
Do they have those in Australia? Yeah. And so after prepping at the shop, we made our way to the tower to put it all together. After 7 hours, by 1 a.m., it was all put together. So after a very short night's rest and 6 months of planning, the moment had finally arrived. The plan was to do 10 drops total, 5 for their channel and 5 for mine. They started with the single bowling ball, but not to be outdone and to stay true to the tradition of my channel, I chose a single watermelon.
And I gotta drop it, right? You're gonna have to coach me through this.
I'll coach you through it.
Mr. Robo, we are good down here, mate.
Also, it turns out, I don't really love heights.
Oh, this is terrifying. I don't know how you guys do this, man. You ready? Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Yeah! Bingo! Whoa, whoa, whoa! Oh.
I'm just kidding.
Oh, I'm gonna faint.
The slow-mo of that would have looked sensational though, to be honest.
That was dope.
Next up for them was 20 bowling balls, which was insane, and you'll have to watch it on their channel after this. But naturally, I had to answer in kind with 20 watermelons.
We just got a sack of melons right here. We're talking 20 melons, about 400 pounds. That's a lot. So they have these tubes here for the kids to drop water balloons down to line it up with the sand pit. So I'm gonna try and film through it, see what I can see.
And let me just say, it's never cool to waste food, so we ate a good portion of the carnage you're about to witness. Plus, food is never wasted on quality scientific data.
Yes, just the sound alone is just like terrifying.
That was good.
And just to give you a sense of scale of the monster we created, here you can see us standing next to a normal trampoline. And not only do we have twice as many springs as a trampoline, but here's a clean comparison of the two sizes. My primary design goal was to have the tramp survive, but I also didn't want to cheat and use the ground to dissipate any of the energy. The mat had to come back up cleanly without touching anything below. And now for the third drop out of 5, a 66-pound Atlas stone versus a tramp full of water balloons.
In 3, 2, 1. Big in the middle.
Oh! Just missed the frame. That would have been a jarring noise. Were you happy with that, Mark?
I'll do her. Come on, girl.
And while we struggle to hoist up my second to last drop of a yoga ball filled up completely with water, I'll take this opportunity to say that my review of Australia was 5 out of 5 stars. They have cooler signs, they've got better snacks, their moon is upside down and their ticks are worse, but their snakes are smaller than advertised.
Alright, boys!
Flip and here we go!
Ready?
So we just ease it up and go.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
3, 2, 1.
Whoa!
Go!
Big
Yeah!
little frog!
Yes!
Oh, survive!
It didn't pop!
It's not meant to bounce, but it did.
That was so epic!
I feel like we did really well.
Oh, that
the
felt
lift.
good. This time I had the balls, the intestinal fortitude to like look over the edge.
And so finally, after a bit of precautionary lightweighting on the car, the big moment had arrived.
Have you decided you're doing the car before the boat? Because it seems to be that's what's happening.
Yeah.
It's going up.
I made that decision. So in case you know the trampolines get busted, at least I've got a dope video. You gotta look out for #1, you know what I mean?
Thing is-
You guys
thing
know
is,
that.
Mark.
First of all, this is 100 kilograms heavier than we analyzed, and it's like 10 meters higher. I could see it hitting, flipping over and like impaling itself on the fence. Or like hitting, flipping over and landing right on the boat.
It would be sad, but also hilarious.
That's content, baby. This is legitimately the most nervous I've ever been in 10 years of making videos.
I mean, it's fair enough.
Canvas trampoline in 3, 2, 1.
But before we drop the car, I want to quickly explain why I was so stoked to receive this challenge. Usually for my builds, I have an idea and a design, and while there's always testing, I've never had the need to actually analyze something using a computer. A lot of you guys know I worked for NASA for 9 years, but up until about 6 months ago, I also worked at Apple for 4 years in their special projects group. And in both cases, what we did for this video is the best example of what I did on a daily basis as a mechanical engineer. It's this loop of designing something in CAD and then analyzing it to see if it's good enough, and then you test it to check your answers. Using computers to analyze a design allows us to build much more complicated systems than before when computers weren't as powerful. This giant ice block was from one of their drops, and you could see how close our analyzed prediction was to what happened in real life. This means that we could be confident the trampoline would be strong enough before we even built it. And this idea that we can understand and predict the world around us using math and equations is what first made me fall in love with science when I took high school physics. By doing math, I can tell you it will take exactly 0.83 seconds for this egg to hit the ground. There could be opposing philosophies and governments and opinions around the world, and we'll never get agreement on who is most right. But if all the scientists and engineers on the planet were to get together and hang out, they'd all be friends, and they'd be like, yeah, we solved it too. And 0.83 seconds is exactly what we also came up with. And I find that to just kind of be simple and beautiful.
Canvas trampoline in 3, 2, 1.
Oh my gosh. Gosh.
What the friggin' heck? It's finished, wheels down!
10 for the dismount.
We flipping bounced the car!
Oh,
that is
yeah.
insane. So Tramp, that's the only bit of
Yeah.
damage.
This is where it plastically deforms and it won't go back to its original shape.
Okay.
So we got a few of those that did that through. Oh, look at this. We just bent this. That's freaking 1-inch steel, man. The car must have come down and hit right here on this spot. We didn't want the car to hit the fence because that would be expensive to repair. Inches, centimeters, nay, millimeters of clearance. The perfect landing. All right, so you thought the car was crazy. Now, we're doing a boat.
We're doing the boat.
I'm gonna end with a preview of their boat drop. But before I do, I need to tell you about how honey will change your life. And I'm not talking about this kind of honey. I'm talking about Honey, the free online shopping tool that magically finds the best promo codes and applies them to your cart. The way it works is you just shop on any website like Target or Best Buy, and then when you check out, this box drops down and all you have to do is click Apply Coupons. Then it scans every promo code on the internet and saves you a couple Hamiltons. And of course it works on popular items like AirPods or TVs, but to prove just how much it could save you, I put the most obscure item I could find in my cart, clicked Apply Coupons, and saved myself 16 bucks on this incredibly classy watermelon salad bowl, which almost seems like it was made just for me. And people freaking love it because it's cumulatively saved them over $2 billion, which is also why it has basically 150,000 5-star reviews on the Google Chrome store. And so now you're thinking, all right, how much is it? It's free. This is literally free money. And if you go to joinhoney.com/MarkRober, it installs in 2 clicks. I repeat, joinhoney.com/MarkRober, or use the link in the video description. So a special thanks to Honey for supporting this video, and a special thanks to you for watching. And now for the boat.
Oh, it's alive! Oh my God.